So we'll be looking at the specifications of the servo amplifier. So there are different models are available, 10A, 20A likewise. Then what is output, rated voltage, what is rated current. So the output of the servo amplifier is 3 phase 170 volt AC, and the rated current is 1.1 ampere for the 10A series. Likewise, you can see the different current ratings. Then what is the input power supply? So input power supply is for our drive is, if it is 10A, it is three phase or single phase. So 10A we can connect single phase supply as well as we can connect three phase supply. So both options are available. As per our availability, we can connect single phase supply or three phase supply. Then all the interface power supply is 24 volt DC. So we're going to interface this amplifier to the PLC. So the interface is 24 volt DC. Okay. So basically, inside this there is a PWM inverter is there. So PWM drive is there inside the servo amplifier. So communication function available is the USB connection is available to the servo amplifier. Then encoder, inbuilt encoder is available. The resolution is 1,31,072 pulses. Then we can connect this encoder to the feedback to the PLC also. So we can have a connections of the encoder to the PLC also, but in that case we require a high speed card is required to interface or to take the feedback of the encoder to the PLC. We require a high speed card output is required. Then this servo amplifier have a analog inputs as well. Then we can operate the servo amplifier from the output of the PLCs. Okay, so the high speed output is required for that purposes, and maximum input pulse input frequency that is supported by the servo amplifier is 4 Mbps uh, when using the differential receiver, and 200 kbps when using the open collector. So generally our PLCs have a open collector output, so the maximum output frequency available is 200 kbps, so that we can connect that servo amplifier to the input. So encode resolution, you can see that is 1,31,072 pulses. Then we can set the different electronic gear ratios. So what is gear ratio, that we can see later on. So these are the certain specifications. Now we'll come back to the nameplate of the servo motor. Okay, so see, this is the nameplate of the servo amplifier. So you can see that the model is MRJE10A. Okay, so MRJE10A. So here it is written MRJE10A. So MRJE stands for the Mitsubishi General Purpose AC Servo Amplifier. So it is Mel Servo JE series amplifier. 10 stand for the, it is what is the rated output. Okay, so 10 stand for the zero point 0.1 kW. So this motor output is 0.1 kW. If it is 20, it is 0.2 kW. If it is 40, it will be 0.4 kW. Likewise, it will tell you that what is the rated output of this servo amplifier. A stand for the series of this amplifier. So there are two series are available, series A and series B. Series E is for A is the general purpose available, so you can connect this directly through the signal input outputs available on this servo amplifier. You can interface those to the PLC. B is for the communication purpose. Okay, so B stand for the communication purpose. You can send the command signals from the PLC to the servo amplifier via the communication only. Okay, so B is the communication type drive is there, that we'll see later on also. So power is 100 watt. Input is three phase or single phase that we can connect. Output is three phase 170 volt AC. This is the nameplate for the servo amplifier. Then servo motor, so it is in combination servo amplifier and servo motor. So this is the nameplate of the servo amplifier, and this is the nameplate of the servo motor. Okay, so the servo motor, you will find something like this, HFKN13BJ. Okay, so HFKN stands for the low inertia small capacity motor. So this is basically small series. HFSN stands for the medium inertia and medium capacity. Okay, so HFKN stands for the low inertia and small capacity motors. One stand for the rated output, So 1 to 7 stand for the 0.1 to 0.75, and 10 to 30 stand for the 1 to 3 kW motors. Okay, so this will tell you the range of the output, rated output range. 3 stand for the what is the rated speed of this motor. Okay, so 3 stand for the 3000 rpm. So maximum we can operate this motor up to 3000 rpm. Then B stand for the brake, whether the brake is used or not used. Okay, so brake is inside the motor or no, or it is not there. So J stand for the oil seal is present there or not. Okay, and the last one is your type of the shaft. So this is a mechanical feature available with the motor. So some key shaft is required in some applications. Likewise, it will tell you this, whether what type of the shaft is available with the motor. Then most important thing is that there is a pair of the servo amplifier and the motor that we have to use. Okay, so for example, MRJE10A, this is the servo amplifier, and for this amplifier we have to use this type of motor only. Okay, we cannot use any other type of motor. So this, there is a fixed combination of the motor and amplifier, it is always there. Okay, we cannot avoid those combinations. So this is 10A servo amplifier is there, we have to use this HFKN13J motor only. So this has to be in pair. So for 20A we have to use KN23J. Likewise, these pairs are mentioned over here, we have to follow these uh, pairs only. Okay, so how the drive looks like. So this is the real picture of the servo amplifier, and this is the real picture of the servo motor. Okay, so you can see that this is your motor, this is the shaft of the motor. So this is the front side of the first part of the motor, and below that you can see that this is an encoder, inbuilt encoder available to the servo motor. Okay, so this is the structure every servo amplifier has, a servo motor has. So this is your motor, this is the encoder available. Okay, and this is your servo amplifier. So this is some LEDs, this is the on the screen, this is a LED screen, 7 segment display is there. Below that there are 4 buttons are there. This is your USB connection, so this is your USB connection, right? So this is CN1 connector. So in this CN1 connector there are 50 pins are there. Okay, so we can connect these 50 pins to the PLC. Okay, so there is interface to interface PLC to the servo amplifier, we'll use the CN1 connector. So as far as our programming is concerned, CN1 is very important for us. This is encoder cable. So see here, we are connecting this encoder cable to the encoder section of this motor. Then this is the power connection of the motor. So this is connected to the motor. So motor has two connections, one is motor power connection and second is encoder connection. This is earthing. Okay, then there are certain braking options are there, so we can connect the braking resistor over here. So I'm going to repeat it once again. So there are 7 segment displays there. Below that there are 4 buttons are there. Then next to that there is a USB connection is there, so we can connect laptop at this side. So MR configurator is the name of the software that we're going to use for this. Then CN1 is the 15 pin connector. It is used to interface PLC. So as far as our PLC programming is concerned, this connector is very important for us. Then there is encoder cable. So this encoder cable is connected to the motor encoder. Then there is a power connection is there, that power connection will be connected to the motor. Then this is the output of the servo amplifier that will be connected to the input of the motor. Then what is how to connect the power supply for this servo amplifier. So this is the procedure to connect the power supply. So we have a AC supply, so it can be single phase or 3 phase depending upon the model of the amplifier. Then there will be MCCB for protection. Then there will be one contactor. After that contactor there will be some AC reactor is there, so that it will some current surge is there, it will not reach to the servo amplifier, so this will remove your current surge. So this is AC reactor. So basically it is a coil, so the inductance property is there, it will oppose the change in the current, so that the some spike is there that will not reach to the servo. So basically it's a protection device. So this is the power supply for the servo amplifier. So this is the product developed by the Mitsubishi. So this is A type series general purpose AC drive is available. There is another model called as a B series. So this is A series servo amplifier is available with us right now. Now this control CN1 control cable, this is 50 pin connector. So we can connect, we can have a different options for this. So we can directly connect PLC output, or we can have a different motion controllers we can connect, or we can have a different communication interfaces. Through that we can control this servo amplifier. Okay, so this is the general structure of the servo amplifier, how it looks. This is the block diagram of the servo amplifier. Right now we'll skip this part. So see here, this is MRJ 100A. So this is A series drive, this is B series drive. So sorry, both are A series, both are A series drives. Okay, so we can see that there is IO connector. So this is CN1 is present here, it is CN1 is present. Okay, so it is lower for medium range or small range. This is for medium range and large range. Okay, so all the connectors are present over here. So L1, L2, L3 is the power connection, UVW is the motor connection, then there is encoder cable. CN1 is for the interfacing to the PLC. This is 7 segment display. Below that there are 4 buttons are there. This is for the USB connection. Okay, uh, now how to connect the power to the servo amplifier. So there are 3 connections, L1, L2 and L3. Okay, so if you want to connect a single phase power supply, then we have to keep this L2 as open, and we have to connect L1 and L3. So L1 and L3 ला आपल्याला power supply connect करायचा. So phase will connecting at the L1, neutral we are connecting at the L3, and we have to keep L2 as open if we are going to have a single phase power supply. And if you want to connect the 3 phase power supply, then we have to use L1, L2 and L3. Uh, RYB we have to connect at L1, L2 and L3, 3 phase power supply. So this is the precaution we have to take while connecting the power supply to the servo amplifier. If it is 3 phase supply, we have to connect L1, L2 and L3. Then we have to, while installing this servo amplifier, we have to take certain precautions such that in the cabinet we have to kept the some space between the two servo amplifiers. So this is the 10 mm. So this is our servo amplifier. We have to keep space 10 mm. Again 10 mm on this side, 10 mm on this side. Top side it should be 40 mm, and on the bottom side the distance should be 40 mm. So this is the space we have to keep always in the control panel for the safe operation of the servo amplifier. If you want to have a multiple servo amplifiers, then the space this space minimum has to be 10 mm. Okay, then these are the some of the input signals and output signals available in the CN1 connector. So emergency 1, emergency 2, servo on, reset, LSP, LSN. So these are the input signals available. So all these are the input signals. So there will be question, uh, which one is the input signal out of these 4 signals likewise. So you have to remember all these signals. So these are the input signals available, and these are the output signals available. So meaning of all these signals we'll see in the next lectures. One more important part is that PD01 is used for the bypass, for the selection of the input signals, or we can some of the input signals that we can bypass. So PD01 parameter is used to select the inputs which we want to bypass or we want to use those inputs. So PD01 the parameter is used to select those inputs.